Have you ever heard just one sentence from a guy that made your stomach flip, your cheeks flush, and for days after, you couldn't stop thinking about him? I'm about to give you that phrase. The one that hooks a woman. Not because it's manipulative, but because it hits a nerve we all secretly crave to have touched. You see, obsession doesn't start in the body, it starts in the mind. The most intoxicating thing a man can say isn't "you're hot" or "I want you." It's the one line that makes a woman feel like she's the only woman who truly sees a part of him no one else gets to see. It's the phrase that makes her think, "I didn't just capture his attention, I unlocked him." When he drops this line with confidence and genuine intent, her brain lights up with curiosity, desire, and the thrill of being chosen. Before I reveal this phrase, I want you to think about the last time someone said something to you that lived rent-free in your head. Drop it in the comments. I guarantee you'll start to see a pattern. Picture this. You meet a woman who seems perfect for you. The conversation flows, she laughs at your jokes, and you feel a genuine connection forming. But when it comes to sexual chemistry, something's off. She treats you like a friend, shows no physical interest, and seems completely unaware of you as a man she could desire. You're left wondering what went wrong and why other men seem to effortlessly ignite sexual desire, while you struggle to move past the friend zone. This scenario plays out for millions of men who make the same quiet mistake. They believe that being kind, respectful, and emotionally present will naturally spark sexual attraction. But here's the brutal truth that most men never learn. Sexual desire runs on completely different fuel than emotional connection or romantic interest. The very behaviors that make a woman feel emotionally safe can often dull her sexual attraction. What if I told you there are psychological switches that create sexual craving in women? What if I told you that truly understanding how female desire works could change the way a woman sees you? Not as someone safe, but as someone she craves in a way she can't fully explain. And what if I told you that most men fail sexually not because they aren't good looking, but because they deeply misunderstand how women experience sexual. Today, I'm going to reveal some uncomfortable truths about female sexual psychology. Things most men don't understand until it's too late. These insights are backed by evolutionary biology, neuroscience, and the raw realities of female desire. Not what culture says women should want, but what they actually respond to on a primal level. If you're tired of being seen as the nice guy while watching other men create sexual electricity with ease, keep listening. What you're about to hear could shift everything. It will change the way you carry yourself, the way you interact, and the way women experience you. The first truth is this. The traits that make a woman feel emotionally safe are often the exact opposite of the ones that make her feel sexually alive. For a woman to feel real desire, she needs both safety and excitement, but those two things often conflict. Safety comes from predictability, reliability, and emotional warmth. Excitement, on the other hand, is born from mystery, unpredictability, and emotional edge. Most men choose one path. They either become the safe guy or the thrilling one, and then wonder why women never fully desire them. But the answer isn't to choose one. The key is to master both energies. You must create emotional safety through consistency and presence, but then awaken her desire by introducing tension, mystery, and subtle unpredictability. Many men believe that emotional closeness leads naturally to sexual chemistry, but in female psychology this simply isn't true. A woman can feel deeply connected to a man emotionally and yet feel no sexual desire for him. And she can feel intense desire for someone she barely knows, or doesn't even like that much. This split explains why some women find themselves in long-term relationships with men they're not truly excited by, while secretly fantasizing about others who stir something deeper. This means you must develop emotional and sexual attraction as two distinct skill sets. Most men only develop one, and that's why they're confused when she says, "You're such a great guy," but chooses someone else. In today's world, men are often conditioned to suppress the very qualities that awaken desire in women. Assertiveness is mistaken for aggression. Confidence is misread as arrogance. Sexual expression is labeled as inappropriate. And the result is a generation of emotionally open men who've lost touch with their raw, masculine power. But women are still biologically wired to respond to that power, not toxic masculinity, but grounded, authentic masculinity, leadership, calm confidence, command over your own body, the ability to express desire without shame. These are the traits that stir her on a deep level. When you soften or hide these traits in an effort to be liked or accepted, you often eliminate the very attraction you hope to build. True sexual confidence is quiet. It's not flashy. It doesn't come from performance or bravado. It comes from deep inner comfort with who you are as a man. When you need her reaction to feel confident, you've already lost the frame. What attracts her is when you carry your sexual confidence with or without her approval. That's the energy she feels in her body, whether she realizes it or not. Being comfortable with your own desires, being unashamed of your sexuality, and being confident in your ability to please her, that's what changes the way she sees you. If you're filled with shame, if you second guess yourself, or walk on eggshells around expressing attraction, she will feel that too, and her body won't respond with desire, it will respond with caution. Fear of sexual rejection is one of the biggest silent destroyers of attraction. When a woman senses you're afraid of her rejection, she subconsciously loses trust in your masculine core. Sexual confidence requires the emotional strength to risk rejection and remain grounded. This isn't about being pushy or aggressive. It's about being secure enough to express interest and stable enough to accept any response with calm dignity. Women are drawn to men who can handle rejection without being shaken. It signals strength. It tells her, I choose you, but I don't need you. That's incredibly attractive. The most desired men don't chase approval. They express interest without pressure, and that creates space for the woman to lean in on her own terms. This is what we call outcome independence. You're not attached to any specific result. You show up as yourself fully. You offer your energy without needing something in return. And that freedom, that lightness, that's what women find magnetic. There's no grip, no agenda, just grounded presence. One of the most subtle challenges men face is how to express sexuality while keeping deep respect intact. Some believe it's one or the other, but it isn't. The most attractive men are those who can generate powerful sexual energy without ever crossing a boundary. They escalate slowly, intuitively, watching her responses, adjusting to her pace, all while staying rooted in calm confidence. Sexual assertiveness paired with deep respect creates a rare polarity. It shows her you're in tune not just with her body, but with her emotional safety. It lets her relax, and in that relaxation, desire blooms. But before a woman can feel sexually open, she needs emotional safety. She needs to know that she can say no and still be respected, that you won't pressure her, shame her, or get upset if she sets a boundary. This trust is built through consistency, honesty, and authentic interest in who she is, not just what she can offer you. Without that safety, any attempt at creating desire will feel invasive. With it, even subtle tension becomes thrilling. Desire grows through gradual build-up, not sudden leaps. You increase intimacy slowly, first through emotional closeness, then light physical touch, then suggestive language. At each stage you check for her response, and only if she leans in do you continue. Your body language speaks long before your words do. Women read your posture, your gaze, the way you move through space. Masculine energy is felt. It's not something you say. It's in the way you stand, the way you breathe, the way you take up space without shrinking or overcompensating. You don't have to be the biggest man in the room to radiate sexual presence. You just need to own your space. Strong eye contact, calm gestures, a deliberate pace. These things matter. She notices, and when done right, they stir something quiet and electric inside her. Physical closeness creates tension, the kind that makes her heart race a little, not because you said anything, just because you're near. That tension isn't uncomfortable, it's exciting, but only if she feels safe. That's the balance: confidence without pressure, boldness without entitlement. Touch, too, is powerful, but only when it's attuned. Start with what's socially normal: a brief touch on the arm, a guiding hand on the lower back. And if she responds positively, you escalate, slowly, respectfully, confidently. Every touch is a test of energy. Every reaction tells you something. Women live in their minds just as much as their bodies, often more. That's why mental connection matters. You have to engage her imagination. Make her think. Challenge her playfully. Speak to her intelligence, not to impress, but to connect. When she respects your mind, her body becomes more receptive. Female sexuality is deeply tied to anticipation and fantasy. It lives in the build-up, the tension, the what-if, the mystery. When you can create that space between what is and what could be, you become irresistible. Because at the end of the day, attraction isn't about tricks, it's about presence. It's about knowing who you are, expressing desire without fear, and reading her signals without losing yourself. When you understand how desire truly works in women, not just emotionally but sexually, you stop trying to earn attraction. You begin to embody it. Images, scenarios, and possibilities that she can dream about even when you're not around. This might involve subtle sexual hints, descriptions of moments you could share, or conversations that plant sensual ideas in her thoughts. The goal is to make her imagination work in your favor by feeding it with something rich to hold on to. Predictability destroys sexual spark. Women need to feel they haven't completely figured you out, that there are still layers to unfold in your personality, your story, and your abilities. This means revealing yourself in pieces instead of laying everything bare all at once. Hold on to some mystery about your past, your inner world, and your strengths, so she stays intrigued and drawn in. Before I go deeper into these vital truths about how female sexual desire works, hit that like button if this content is shifting how you see attraction. Subscribe to the channel because I'm exposing the raw, uncomfortable truths about female sexuality, truths that could reshape your success with women. Your support allows me to keep sharing insights that most men don't learn until they've already made the mistake. Sexual tension is the spark that fuels female arousal, but most men either don't build enough of it or they try to force it in the wrong way. Tension comes from the contrast between closeness and space. This back and forth keeps her emotionally alert and prevents her from slipping into comfort or assuming she already has you. It could mean being fully present during time spent together, then suddenly pulling back, becoming less accessible, or expressing clear interest, then letting your attention drift elsewhere, onto your purpose, your plans, or even other people. The point is to create just enough uncertainty about your interest to keep her on edge, wondering. Often women get more turned on by the build-up than the act itself. That's why anticipation can be even more powerful than physical contact. Set up moments where touch could happen, but doesn't. Make plans that tease something more. Use words to craft images of future intimacy. The aim is to keep her thinking of you in a sensual way when you're not even there. Sexual connection thrives on emotional intensity. You want to create interactions that stir something in her, whether it's curiosity, excitement, a playful challenge, or even mild frustration. Safe, predictable energy won't awaken chemistry. You have to risk stirring the waters. Real sexual attraction lives in the emotional waves. How you express yourself, through words, tone, energy, body language, directly shapes how much she desires you. Playful, subtle innuendos can weave sexuality into conversation without sounding vulgar. It's about choosing words that can mean two things, saying one thing while letting her mind wander to another. The trick is doing this with confidence. She should be able to pretend you meant it innocently, but also feel that unmistakable undertone. Studies show that women are more attracted to men who speak with deeper voices. It signals strength, groundedness, and strong genetics. This doesn't mean faking a deep voice, but speaking from your chest, not your throat. Slow down. Speak with weight. Let your voice carry certainty. Your tone reveals your masculinity more than the actual words you speak. Holding eye contact, firm, unapologetic but calm, builds more sexual pressure than any line you could say. Most guys either avoid eye contact or overdo it. Master that middle space. Look at her like you're sure of what you want, but don't need to chase it. That gaze should tell her you see her, want her, but you're not begging for her. Strangely enough, the more unavailable you are, the more desirable you become. Being too easy to reach, too quick to respond, makes you look like you have nothing going on. The chase dies. She needs to feel like your time is earned, not handed over freely. Have passions, projects, friends, and priorities that occasionally take precedence over her. She should feel lucky to have access to you, not entitled to it. Women are also drawn to men who are seen as attractive by others. This social proof activates her competitive instincts. It tells her you're wanted, and that raises your value in her eyes. You don't need to be in other relationships, you just need to be around women, be comfortable in their presence, and let it be known that you have options. Sexual attraction grows when she sees you as whole, complete, and fulfilled, with or without her. She should feel like you bring something full into her life. Not that you're looking for someone to fill your empty spaces. That's the kind of emotional tension that fuels desire. Predictability drains the excitement. Women crave variety, mystery, plan things she wouldn't expect. Take her somewhere new. Do something spontaneous. Challenge her sense of routine. Make her associate your presence with adventure. When she thinks of you, she should feel something wake up inside her. Not just comfort, but a spark. Don't always show her the same version of you. Be a little unpredictable. Sometimes be playful. Sometimes serious. Sometimes tease. Sometimes listen deeply. This range makes her want to keep figuring you out. Complexity keeps her hooked. If she feels like she's already discovered everything, desire fades. Women are naturally drawn to risk takers, not reckless ones, but those who are bold, decisive, willing to lean into the unknown, try new things, make firm choices. Don't be afraid to stumble in front of her. That kind of bravery whispers to her on a deep level. It speaks to your ability to lead. Physical touch should be intentional, but gradual. Start where it's socially acceptable. Brush her arm during a laugh. Guide her with a light touch. Notice how she reacts. If she leans in, smiles, touches you back, or stays close, she's comfortable. If she pulls away or tenses up, slow down. As she relaxes into the contact, increase the length, the closeness, the intimacy. Go from casual to meaningful. Let each stage be a build-up, a rising temperature. Only move forward when her response invites you. That's how you build sexual heat with respect. Learn the difference between comfort and genuine desire. Comfort feels easy, like friendship. Desire pulls her toward you. She initiates contact. She stays close. Her eyes linger. If she's only comfortable, not turned on, you need to deepen the emotional charge, not just increase the touch. The most magnetic sexual bonds combine closeness of heart with fire of body. Sharing parts of your inner world, your fears, your past, your vulnerabilities, can create that closeness. But timing matters. If you open up too fast, it can feel heavy or needy. If you never do, she won't connect deeply. So be intentional. Let her see your emotional depth, but stay grounded in strength. She should feel your depth without feeling like she needs to rescue you. Sexual relationships are emotional relationships. Sometimes she'll need excitement, other times softness and safety. Learn to sense where she is and respond with presence. That's emotional intelligence. That's what keeps attraction alive long after the initial spark. In long-term intimacy, sexual desire doesn't survive by accident. You have to keep growing, keep surprising, keep deepening yourself. If you become too easy, too passive, too dependent, the fire dims. Attraction lasts when you keep feeding the energy that started it. Initially, the most important part of sexual attraction is that it must come from real masculine confidence, not manipulative tricks. Focus on truly becoming sexually confident instead of just pretending. This means working through your own insecurities, developing genuine skill, and building solid self-respect. When your confidence is built from real growth rather than performance, it becomes naturally attractive instead of feeling forced or fake. Every technique around sexual attraction must be grounded in sincere respect for women as people. Sexual confidence without respect feels disturbing and can even be unsafe. The most attractive men are the ones who can be sexually assertive while fully honoring boundaries, consent, and human dignity. Think beyond simply sparking attraction. Aim to become the kind of man who draws high-quality women in naturally. The goal isn't learning moves, it's becoming truly magnetic. This mindset shift ensures your sexual success comes from real inner growth, not surface-level tricks or manipulation. Understanding the signals of female sexual interest helps you avoid confusion and lets you respond in a way that fits her real feelings. Learn to tell the difference between genuine sexual curiosity and polite friendliness. Many men confuse kindness, warmth, or even basic decency for attraction. True desire shows up through clear changes in her behavior. She might start paying more attention to how she looks around you, initiate light touches, speak more openly or flirtatiously, or try to create private time with you. Female arousal often shows up differently than it does in men. Learn to read the quieter signs. Dilated pupils, quicker breathing, warmer skin, more personal conversation, and subtle increases in physical closeness. These signals help you move forward in a way that reflects her actual interest, not just your hopes or fantasies. No approach is worth pushing past her comfort. Real attraction grows best when you can read her boundaries, respect them, and still carry your own confidence and self-worth. Learn to read her body language during intimate moments, how she breathes, moves, speaks, and how comfortable she seems overall. Her body will show you what feels good and what doesn't. This isn't about guessing, it's about being present and tuned in, not just chasing your own pleasure. This ability to notice and respond to her signals makes you a more connected lover and deepens the trust between you. See physical intimacy as a shared experience. Both people matter equally. Be willing to pause, adjust, or explore new things based on her feedback. The men who are most attractive sexually are the ones who are confident enough to focus on shared pleasure, not just performance or ego. This kind of care makes intimacy better for both and strengthens the chemistry between you with time. The most appealing men are those who can handle a no with grace, keeping their dignity intact and still respecting her right to choose. One of the strongest ways to build both trust and attraction is by being honest about your desires and intentions. Instead of hiding your interest or pretending you only want friendship, be real about your attraction, but stay respectful. This honesty cuts through games and builds trust, which is the real foundation of powerful chemistry. This doesn't mean being crude or pushy. It means being clear about what you feel while allowing her space to respond however she wants. Women value men who are upfront with their feelings, not those who use fake friendship to mask desire. Have open talks about what you're both hoping for. If you're looking for something serious, say it. If you're open to something more casual, say that too. Being clear avoids confusion and builds a safer space for connection. Many men skip these talks out of fear, but avoiding the truth only leads to frustration and mixed signals. Real clarity makes women feel safer exploring that chemistry with you. Approach sex with the intention of caring for her experience, not just chasing your own release. This means listening to her, asking what she enjoys, and making sure pleasure flows both ways. Many women say men focus too much on themselves and forget her side of the experience. When you truly care about how she feels, you create a sense of trust that invites deeper intimacy and more openness. The ultimate truth about making a woman desire you sexually is this: It starts with understanding how female psychology works and matching that with honest masculine growth. Sexual attraction isn't about tricks. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally stirs desire through confidence, presence, emotional maturity, and deep respect. When you stop trying to force attraction and instead understand what truly moves her, you unlock real desire, not just politeness or pressure. The men who understand sexual connection don't just get women to sleep with them. They become the men women daydream about, long for, and feel safe with. They know that confidence doesn't come from pretending, it comes from doing the inner work. Remember, sexual attraction is a skill. Like any other skill, it can be built through real insight, consistent practice, and sincere growth. The focus should always be on becoming truly attractive, not just learning to look the part. Your confidence should grow from your character, your maturity, and your real understanding of female desire, not from games or over-practiced moves. When you grow into that kind of man, you'll find that women feel pulled toward you, drawn in by your masculine energy and steady presence. If reading this has helped you see the gaps in your understanding of female sexual psychology, go ahead and like this video and subscribe for more content that breaks down the real truths about attraction. Share this with the men in your life who need to hear that sexual confidence comes from personal development, not from being the nice guy or running manipulative scripts. Until next time, remember, sexual magnetism is not about being flawless. It's about being grounded, emotionally aware, and real. Focus on becoming the kind of man who inspires desire. Don't waste time trying to talk women into wanting you.